Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lolix. In today's lesson, we will go over text 1 of part C of the reading exam of a sample OET test. Each paragraph of the article will be put up on screen for 5 seconds, and you can pause the video and read through it if you wish. Once we reach the end of the article, we will go over the questions related to it and answer them, giving explanations as to how we arrive at those answers. Let's get started. Question 7. The first paragraph explains that stress A is usually caused by a factor that cannot be controlled. B is interpreted in various ways by different people. C is unusual when it lasts for an extended time, or D generally impacts people's behavior. Let's look at the first paragraph. In this paragraph, there is no mention about stress being caused by a factor that cannot be controlled. Next, it also does not state that stress is unusual when it lasts for an extended time. And thirdly, it does not specify about stress impacting people's behavior. So, by the process of elimination, we can answer question number 7 as B, that it is interpreted in various ways by different people. Question 8. In the second paragraph, doctors are said to claim that stress A is often improperly managed by chronic sufferers. B could be improved by increasing the welfare budget. C generally resulted in their having to work longer hours. Or D was caused by a number of issues including money worries. In the second paragraph, the last sentence is what is most important because the question asks us about what doctors claim is causing stress. So, in the last sentence, we can see that 27% of doctors in the UK believe that the stress they experienced was triggered by poor management, low job satisfaction, financial concerns, and others. So, this tells us that the answer to question number 8 is D. Stress was caused by a number of issues, including money worries. Question 9. The writer uses the phrase "the elephant in the room" to emphasize the fact that A. Levels of stress experienced by staff has declined. B. Senior staff generally experience less stress than their juniors. C. Many healthcare professionals do not discuss the stress they experience. D. Junior doctors have reported a lower quality personal life as a result of stress. For question number 9, the phrase "elephant in the room" appears in the third paragraph. Here we see it state, In many healthcare jobs, stress is the elephant in the room, particularly with junior staff who may feel unable to voice concerns about their workload. Now, this is the same as option C, which states many healthcare professionals do not discuss the stress they experience. So, the phrase unable to voice concerns is the same as saying do not discuss the stress they experience. So, the answer to question number 9 is C. Question 10. Why does the writer comment on Dr. Hadiza Bawa Garba and her patient Jack? A. To suggest that doctors are more likely to make significant errors when stressed. B. To outline a scenario where a doctor's concerns about stress were ignored. C. To demonstrate that stress in healthcare professionals is unacceptable. Or D. To emphasize the impact the death of a patient can have on stress. For question number 10, the answer can be found in the fourth paragraph. Here, the very first sentence is quite important, where it states, "We do not need to look far to examine the effect that stress can have on doctors today." Then the writer goes into the story about Dr. Bhava Garba, and lastly, the writer says, did Dr. Bhava Garba make detrimental mistakes? Yes. But one must ask, are we creating a recipe for disaster when we require our medical staff to work under such immense pressures? Could this be one tragic event of many waiting to happen? Such mistakes ruin lives. Additionally, at the end of the story, the writer also says that the doctor was covering her own workload as well as that of two senior colleagues who were away across 6 wards spanning 4 floors with malfunctioning IT software and out-of-order result systems. So this is talking about the stress that the Dr. Bhava Garba was under. So the writer is trying to tell us that doctors make mistakes when they are under a lot of stress. So the answer to question number 10 is A, to suggest that doctors are more likely to make significant errors when stressed. Question 11. The writer suggests that Jack Adcock's death was partly caused by A. Technology that was out of date and faulty. B. A hospital ward overcrowded with patients. C. An insufficient number of nursing team staff. Or D. A lack of experience among the clinical team. For question number 11, the answer remains in the fourth paragraph, which revolves around Dr. Bhava Garba and her patient Jack Adcock. Now, in the given paragraph, it does not state whether if the hospital ward was overcrowded with patients, nor does it state about the number of the nursing team staff, and lastly, it does not state anything about the experience among the clinical team. So by eliminating these 3 answers and by looking at the paragraph where it does talk about malfunctioning IT software and out-of-order results systems, we can confidently answer that the answer to question number 11 is A, technology that was out of date and faulty. Question 12. Why might doctors who use heuristics be at a greater risk of making clinical errors? A. Heuristics are more likely to be used by junior doctors. B. Doctors might take too long to complete their tasks. C. Doctors might skip over the relevant information. Or D. The different types of heuristics are confused. The answer to question number 12 is in the fifth paragraph, and the first few sentences of that paragraph are most important to us. Here, it states that the most common cause of medical errors is the use of heuristics in medical decision making, leading to bias. Heuristics are shortcuts taken to reach decisions quickly, based on previous patterns of disease and similar cases seen by the doctor. Mistakes are more likely when such shortcuts are used by junior doctors who lack the experience necessary to make such fast decisions accurately. The rest of the paragraph is all about different types of heuristics, which is not important to us right now. So, from the first few sentences that we've read, we can confidently strike out option D, which is that the different types of heuristics are confused. And also we can strike off option B, which states doctors might take too long to complete their tasks, because heuristics is all about shortcuts. Now, it does state that heuristics are used by junior doctors, but the question says that heuristics are more likely to be used by junior doctors. Now, that is inaccurate based on the article. So the answer to question number 12 is C. Doctors might skip over the relevant information. Question 13. The writer claims that confirmation bias might cause doctors to ignore relevant information if A. They have recently treated a patient with the same condition. B. They are very familiar with the evidence being presented. C. The patient displays extreme symptoms. Or D. It does not support their existing theory. The answer to question number 13 remains in the fifth paragraph, where the definition for confirmation bias is given. In the paragraph, it states that confirmation bias occurs when a diagnosis is based on a preconceived idea, where the doctor pays attention to the information that supports their theory and evidence which challenges the diagnosis is consciously or subconsciously ignored. Now here, the definition is given very straightforward. So the answer to question number 13 is D. It does not support their existing theory. Question 14. What does the word them refer to in the final paragraph? A. The team of healthcare staff. B. A variety of possible causes. C. The mistakes in patient care. Or D. A number of different texts. So for question number 14, in the final paragraph, it is the first sentence that is most important to us. Research shows that the best way to avoid medical errors in diagnosis is to consider several hypotheses known as differential diagnoses and investigate them all equally until the one with the most supporting evidence is found and agreed upon. So, them in that sentence is referring to the multiple hypotheses or differential diagnoses. So the answer to question number 14 is B, a variety of possible causes. That is the end of today's lesson. If you have any questions or doubts, please leave a comment. If you found the video to be helpful, give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on English grammar and OET exam help. Thank you.